All right, we're live. Welcome to the conversation with Free every Friday. We have a conversation. Last week he wasn't here. He was busy with Thanksgiving. He overate, I guess. But this week we have him. We're glad to have him today. What's up, Free? How you doing?
I'm absolutely doing fantastic, Omar. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be bringing the world entertainment like this.
I'm glad to have you, man. We can have a nice, decent conversation. I'm trying to get this new music I found on what do you call it? On this idiotic. Here you go. Ready? Ah, you hear it?
Yeah.
That's our intro. Fake intro. This is the poor people's intro. All right, Free, what's up? So, how was your Thanksgiving? I'm going to ask you again. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was pretty fantastic. Had, if I remember it correctly now, turkey with gravy, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and sweet potatoes. That's what was in, the whole dinner. So typical seasonal, American Thanksgiving dinner. Not a lot of people
Family?
like turkey. Yeah. I recently met up with my
No, I
family.
mean the,
So.
the dinner. Yeah. A lot of people you had together. A lot of family got
No,
together. Or just,
my family isn't big because my immediate family, it's not that big. We don't know a lot of people. And like some of the relatives either live, halfway across the world because they're, in Asia or
where you
oh,
originally live?
I'm from here, but
Yeah, I mean your heritage.
yeah. I'm half white, German and Irish on my dad's side, and I'm Filipino on my
Oh,
mom's side. So
oh.
yeah,
So your
yeah,
mom is Filipino.
yeah.
I bet you she's a nurse, right? No.
Well, I've never realized why there's so
Stereotyping
many.
right now. Stereotyping because a lot of
She is.
Filipinos.
You're right though, but like I don't
Yeah,
realize why there's so many Filipino nurses.
there's a lot of
Uh,
nurses
I
and post office. They used to work the post office. They had a monopoly on that. No,
yeah
but Filipinos are hardworking people, and so I mean, we
yeah.
salute them all. Anyway, so what's up? What's new, man? What's going on with the politics? What's going on with Kanye? Kanye's going for Nazi. He's gonna start his own army there with Nick
Well,
Fuentes and that guy. What's his name? Milo, whatever. Yiannopoulos, whatever the fucking name is. What's going on?
yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos and Nick Fuentes. I call it the orgy of insanity. Because I mean, you got the most mentally ill people all in one place, and you've got some of the best leftist content throughout the year. So, if you want to get into the Kanye stuff first, let's recap
Yeah,
again.
let's
So I'm
start. Yeah,
gonna,
let's go.
yeah, I'm bringing up this clip. So, hold on. All right. So
Let
I'm
me
gonna
get
screen
this one.
share this
Yeah.
because it's in a tab on Twitter.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
I introduce that. What's that? That's it's still on
Yeah.
Twitter, yeah. You know, Twitter has more freedom on videos than all other platforms. And Facebook is fucking too sensitive, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead. Let's see. What's that? This is this is on Timcast, right? When he first went into that first interview, right, with that idiot Tim Pool, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That grifting
You know what you have.
scumbag.
You know what you have in common with him, right?
He's like half Asian or something. I don't know if he's Filipino or
No,
fucking like
his
Thai or
mother
Chinese.
his mother's Filipino, but he never
Oh.
talks about. He only leans into that when you say, "Oh, you're against minority." He goes, "Oh, I'm a minority," because you had a debate one time with Bosch.
I'm
Yeah, it was
Asian.
Vosh, and Vosh said you are evil and mean to the environment. He said, how can I be mean? All of a sudden, he threw his mother right in the front there when he needs to. Anyway, go ahead, brother. What's going on?
Yeah. So the context of this interview is basically that, okay, obviously, Tim Pool will just hop on any market trend because fundamentally, at the end of the day, I think he's a grifter. He only cares
Yeah,
about cloud. That's why he calls himself a disaffected, liberal.
yeah,
When if you see the comments on the video with Ye, it's just full of a bunch of Nazis defending him,
yeah.
praising his questioning of how Jews run everything. So here it is. Ye, formerly Kanye West, walks out of an interview with Tim Pool when pushed on his claim that Jews control the media.
Yeah.
Watch, it's the most minor pushback possible,
Yeah.
and Kanye just
Put me
leaves the
in
whole
jail.
show.
It was like a dog was biting
You hear
my
that?
arm, and I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked in stride through it. Yeah.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you. I think
Who was they though? We can't say who they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using the. I don't use the word as the way I guess
Yeah.
you guys use. I'm
It
talking
is
about
them, though, isn't it? I mean, because
No.
and because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about you leaving?
Yeah, the most minor
Yeah.
pushback, and he walks off the fucking set of the show.
You know, he would had a better interview with him instead of that idiotic thing he did. We're gonna get to later with what's his name, with
Jones,
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing there. I mean, I think Paul wanted to get into the show. He wanted, first to calm down, and he's a good fucking host. That guy, what's his name? Tim Paul. He knows what he's doing. Like, he knows how to settle down the room. He wanted to go right into it slowly but surely. He wanted to leave it last. And one thing he don't want to give more. He want to admit to anti-Semitism at the same time. He needed Kanye on his show. Yeah, 1,000 people watching. That's fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, because the sneaky thing about Tim Pool
Yeah.
is that he knows how to get far right people onto his platform and stay within TOS, so he can like bank off of these really far right people that are in his audience.
Yeah, you got that right from Joe Rogan.
Yeah. It's all Rogan's game. I mean, whereas I think Rogan is oblivious to the presence of the right wing on his platform. Like he'll sometimes, say, "Oh, weed." He'll push back against Matt Walsh sometimes. And
not good. Not only that, anybody who's been there, like I'm gonna give you an example. Tim Pool, become right winger. Dave Rubin, disaffected leftist. Tulsi Gabbard, that's when she got that bump from Joe. They got a big bump. They got like 100,000 people follow them.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard. Even Bill Maher. Bill Maher, all of a sudden, he's a fucking, what do you call a bisexual politician? I don't mean bisexual, but he wants to please the right and the left. Hey, I'm just calling out the woke culture at the same time. Fox News has me on there. Fuck you, Bill Maher. You're a piece of shit. Because he went on, anybody who goes to Joe Rogan is the Johnny Carson of his day. I'm serious. When they used to go to comedians, as soon as they sit on the sofa, that's it. They become famous.
Yeah.
So what happened is, I want to explain it real fast. Is people get a big bump. I saw that. What's that name? One comedian. He was talking that the first interview he had, he said it wasn't going too good. He said he got 10,000 new followers. He said the next time in the 100,000s. This is a comedian. So once you get juiced up by this new supporters, and they are fucking loyal as fuck, and they're not the most intellectual followers in the world. They don't believe it. I'm serious. They will follow anything, and they'll just
CRT groomer. You can say anything.
And once you say that, trust me. If I go on Joe Rogan and get like 500,000 people, I'm gonna be an asshole too. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna. I'm serious. This is what I'm gonna make my living. If I'm making that, because he's making a lot of money. See how much money they give him during the podcast? Hundreds of dollars, man. I don't know. They just give their money away to this fucking guy.
It's so lucrative. It's a lucrative grift. That's why people like Tim Pool and Dave Rubin do it. People on the left, like Vosh, Kyle Klininski, all those people. I mean, they're fine with small dollar donations. Yeah. But if you're someone who only cares about clout and fame and money, basically, you're gonna grift to the right because that's where the profit is at.
I'm thinking of going there. I'm gonna leave it free. Okay. I'm gonna say I'm disaffected with free. Free is a liberal. I didn't like his views. He was too strict. That's why I had to go to the right. You gotta make up a story here. I need Whoa! He was just too woke. Every time I say something, he's like barking at me with some crazy shit. He wants to destroy America. That free guy with his liberal friends. And I don't want that. I gotta stop that. This is what the bullshit's all about. This is a game, man.
Yeah. Maybe you could say things like Soros, globalist, internationalist. Who could those be? Who could those people be?
Jackson Hinkle is another fucking piece of shit.
He's a Nazi.
He was a nobody. Then all of a sudden, Jimmy Dore carries him under his arm. Then he leans into what is it called? The mega communism. He got that
nonsense.
It's heroin. You know what heroin? People get on heroin. That's what the right wing subscribers or followers are. They're like fucking heroin. You get it. They will follow you to fucking to overclip. They don't give a damn. They support you. That's why you see his tweet. They're getting crazy about it. I think he's a new Nazi too. I think he was tweeting stuff that like more along the line of Kanye. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kanye went fucking nuts. Kanye, I think I heard he's been saying this shit a long time. One time he wanted to name his record Hitler, they didn't let him, and nobody believed that.
We're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay, good then. All right. So this is him. He leaves Tim Pool's show, and Tim Pool is left. Fucking say, well, fuck, I fucked up. I should have just said something about the Jews. He will stay, you know. And I don't think he's going to be able to handle what Alex Jones looks like. He's the normal one in the room. He's like, everybody thought I was the crazy one over here. He said that, man. But it was so idiotic. You have this guy in a fucking mask. You know, my eyesight is not that good on my phone over here, and I'm watching it. I'm like, what the fuck is kind of so dark? Is that dark? I mean, is that like an avatar? Or, I didn't know. Well, what do you have? Like a mask? What was that? Hello? You're frozen. You're frozen. Your camera is frozen. Freak. All right.
Closed on me. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No. Let me get you out of this room.
Yeah.
You have two. Is it okay? We have two people. We gotta get rid of one.
It should be fine now.
Okay, we're good now. So what happened is, was that a regular mask or was that a superhero? What was the objective of the mask that he had on? I'm so not sure.
I don't know. I'm gonna bring up the clip now because the original link I had, it got removed because obviously YouTube has banned Alex Jones and the compilation was just Alex Jones footage. So I'm gonna find footage on Twitter.
Yeah, because I had an interview yesterday with Green. You know who Adam Green is. And we went crazy, me and him. I don't think we're gonna go for YouTube. The shit he was saying, and I was saying a lot of crazy shit. You know, and I said, "Oh, this doesn't sound too good."
Yeah. Adam Green, the guy who just constantly talks about, Jews
and how they, I don't know how they just everything.
I got it pulled up here. All right.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Is it up?
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well,
He's trying to save them.
Awesome. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love.
See, they're playing a clip from American History X because
I was thinking I never saw that movie, but I heard it was like a new Nazi and stuff like that, right? Was it that kind of movie?
Oh yeah, it's about a Nazi. The message basically is, like with Schindler's List, Nazism is a mental illness. We need to quash fascism wherever it arises. Look at what's trending. Isn't this so freaking appropriate?
What the fuck? What is it?
And you can
look.
I can't see that far. Holocaust.
I'll look at yeah.
Love what we're doing to you with
and they're trying to make Nazis look bad because Alex Jones constantly says, "Oh, I'm not a Nazi, but it's these globalists that piss me off. I'm actually really a libertarian in some sort of sense." But they don't expect Ye to defend Hitler, and that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
You can love what we're pushing with the pornography, but this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use.
He did not invent highways. He had an Autobahn infrastructure project.
As a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done.
He took out Hitler. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Oh,
how about that one? Ari Emanuel, how you like that one? Hey, Ron, you gonna do anything to fix Chicago?
Oh, shit.
Well, I am worried about the thousands of black folks down.
You know what I said about Ron? You know Ron Emanuel is. His brother is Ari Emanuel, the biggest agent in Hollywood. He's the one who got Kanye canceled because he wrote a letter. It's time to cancel Kanye West. His name is Ari Emanuel. He's one of the biggest agent in Hollywood and influence. So that's why he's attacking his brother. Anyway, at the end of the day, I don't know why he's ready. Do you think he's sick? I mean, I think he's mentally sick because he doesn't have any filter no more. Because usually racists have a filter. I live in New York and there's a lot of racist people, but you could feel the racism, but you don't see it. You understand?
Yeah.
And I used to work in a retail business, and I would deal with a lot of people, different nationality, and I feel that
you just know. You just know.
You just know in your heart, but they have a filter. You don't hear it. Kanye doesn't have a filter. He just said, well, right away. He just said, oh shit. He's saying the thing. They were saying, oh shit, he's saying the stuff we want to say, but they use them as an object. And the problem is, even the people, Nick Fuente just called the black vote, the end vote just 2 weeks ago. He said you got to send the army to these black neighborhoods so they could get straighten them out. All of us. This is what I can't understand about fucking white nationalists or whatever he wants to be called, Nick Fuentes. So why is he serving? What's his name? Kanye West black. I mean, isn't that goes against the ideal of purism of white purism?
What's interesting is Fuentes, because he wanted to deflect criticisms of racism early on because he was still on YouTube, and people would say, "Oh, he's a fucking racist Nazi piece of shit." So to deflect criticisms of racism, he would say, "Oh, well, I'm just Afro-Latino, and I actually want my own separate ethno-state, and I can't possibly be racist because I'm these ethnicities." And then when he gets banned off of YouTube and goes over to, what's it called, Cozy TV, his own platform, he says, well, I actually had to lie about being Afro-Latino so I could say I wasn't racist. So you just make up your ethnicity as you go? No, you're full of shit. Like, and this is the people who want a white ethno state. Stop making shit up. And these concepts, these socially constructed ideas of race, are fundamentally socially constructed. It exists, but nobody's gonna haplotype you. Nobody's gonna check your mtDNA for like the fucking white ethno state. That's so dumb. That's so out of your mind, out of this world, ludicrous. And Fuentes is so inconsistent with his like race. He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't believe in anything.
He doesn't believe. He said that having sex with women is gay, and not having sex. You saw that small segment they have of him. Well, I'm not gay. I never having sex with women is gay.
Mr. White birth rates are plummeting. We need to save the white race. Yeah, white birth rates are plummeting. You don't want to make more white people. You don't believe in anything, do you?
Yeah, it is
expand because that's a nuanced issue. You know, my grandfather grew up in Dallas and from a pretty wealthy family.
Also, Hitler was born Christian.
Well, I've studied some of the history on it.
Catholic.
It's very interesting. My grandfather, grew up and actually some of his family spoke
like Fuentes. German. Fuentes is a Catholic. Hitler's a Catholic, so it makes sense.
There's a lot of Germans in Texas. But did you know that he grew up next door to the inventor of air conditioning and the inventor of one of the major inventors of refrigeration?
Oh, there we go. One guy invented the highway, and this guy invented the air conditioner. The air conditioner was invented in Florida because people used to get sick from tuberculosis, and they needed air. They used to put like ice to put air to them, so if they get fresh air, the tuberculosis will go away.
That's why the state is habitable, because pretty much every month besides November, December, January, we leave the cool air running all throughout the house.
Yeah. It was actually I read a long time. It was actually in Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My issue was growing up. My grandfather told me the stories about some of the inside baseball and the things that went on. But later, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to tell you some stuff about Hitler that you might not know directly that happened to my people I knew.
I'd love to hear everything because guess what? We don't get to hear. It's hidden. Even like our truth.
Hitler was the good guy.
He put that mask on just to hide and say whatever. He thought he was invisible or something, so he could say the shit he was saying.
Yeah. Oh, it was an impersonator. It wasn't me.
Because I wear these glasses to hide behind my shyness. Because when I wear them, I start to talk. Before I used to talk like a rock, I see the guy, I'm like, but right now I feel like, I'm hiding and shit. But he's wearing he's never, I don't know, man. Go ahead. I'm going to ask you later. Go ahead, Finner. What's that, the Bible? Yeah, it's the Bible, yeah.
In America, before the Pilgrims, that truth is hidden. That we are actually the Native Americans, or some of us are natives. Or the fact that what Kyrie got in trouble is pointing out that we're Jewish slave boats. And then
look at Australia. Yeah. They've done some of the genetic typing of the Aborigines there, and they're basically Africans.
There you go. So all of these truths, and then the current truths about banking, about the government. My favorite thing that I got to say with
There's no sound. You lost your sound.
Oh, sorry. I was,
Okay, good. Now you're good. Go ahead.
yeah, so they're making a bunch of spurious claims. I'm just gonna assume they're wrong on
Yeah.
them. Here's the most ridiculous moment from the Kanye Alex
Yeah.
show. And you who, oh God, this was the worst. So let me pull up videos here. Ah, shit. Yeah, but so Ye has lost it, and
So I mean, I want to ask you a question. I think he's sick. I don't think he's normal.
yeah, his bipolar's really gotten to him.
Yeah, I think he's what do you call it? Maniac. What's that word? When you get to he's going on a spiral and he keep on going and going. He hasn't hit the bottom yet. I think he's going to hit more bottom before he realizes that he needs help. But he's self-destruction as he's doing it. Like when you burn something in the air and as it goes on fire, he's
A
self-destruction.
dumpster fire?
And people are watching him, and it's a shame what's happened there, man.
So this was the stupidest moment. Yeah, well, we'll talk about he's bipolar disorder and how he avoided taking lithium, which was prescribed by his doctor.
Yeah.
But this is the stupidest thing from this interview.
Picking up the Yahoo and the netting. So for now, he's just netting. I know some people call him BB. No, some people call him Yahoo, but we're gonna call him netting. What you want, netting? Hey, right after this, I'm gonna say you're crazy. I'm gonna take your family away from you. We're not done with you yet. You cannot cause free thought. We have to control the history books. We have to control the banks, and we have to go and kill people. Also, we're in the
Fucking idiot, man.
So
where's that supposed to be? Netanyahu?
Net and you.
That's supposed to be Netanyahu, right? I think he hated him because he said something about it.
The drink is called Yoo-hoo. So it's supposed to be Netanyahu, but it accidentally came out as Netanyahu, like Defcon and Defcon. He's a fucking idiot, dude.
It's fucking crazy, man.
So, I think what got him down this road is that his family noticed that after his, catastrophic bid for president in 2020, his family realized that, okay, his bipolar disorder is going off the rails.
Yeah.
So they recommended that he consult a doctor, and this doctor wound up telling him that, okay, I'm prescribing you, I think lithium or something, some sort of antipsychotic. To control,
I was one time that psychotic.
Yeah.
When I got up in a coma, I see people trying to kill me and shit. I mean, it looks real. For like 2 months, and it go on, and it used to go and come back. And it was from the drugs because I was on a sudden-induced coma for 6 months. And I had this gang that was chasing me all over the hospital and crazy, and I was sleeping, and it looked real. But I was, but the problem, this guy's having, this guy's going fucking nuts, and he's losing billions of dollars at the same time. Where the fuck is Jay-Z? Where's the rap industry? The problem is he isolated himself with his dumb fucking, because he kept on disrespecting the black community with Donald Trump, with White Lives Matter, all this Candace Owen bullshit. and he isolated himself. He has no community to protect him. He doesn't have a tribe. And if you don't have a fucking tribe, you cannot protect yourself. Trust me. If he was with the black community, they will have come to the rescue, or they will have blunted the ADL and stuff like that. But they're like, fuck him. Let him burn, man. He's a piece of shit. But I mean, it's a shame what's happening to him. There's no room for fucking anti-Semitism or fucking Holocaust. We've already passed that shit. I mean, why are we debating shit that settle shit? I mean, like, no, shut up, man. We already passed that. I mean,
the Jews.
There's no denying anything. I like Lex Fredman. He said, "Why are you saying Jews? Why don't you just say who are they? The people who fucked you. Tell us who are they? If you're brave." And Lex Fredman, you know who Lex Fredman is, right?
Yeah.
He's a black belt. He's a black belt jitsu. He will fuck them up. That's why he used to talk nice. He needs to get up there. And by the way, I think he's a pussy. By the way, what's his name? Kanye. He's not like one of those tough rappers from the ghetto from New York. He was raised middle class. His mother was a teacher, and he was born in China. Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
So
he wasn't like brought up in the inner city.
yeah, even his
environment,
rap
you know?
music, he took that roughness and made it like a regular music. He's the first. He was credited with that.
Mm.
But he is sick. He is sick. He needs help, and I hope he gets it fast. He needs, you know, those shows, intervention shows where they have people that they intervene right away. He needs that because it's going to end up bad. Trust me, for you. It's going to end up bad for him. He's going to end up dead or killing himself because what he's going through is I don't know what the word. What do you call that word? Maniac, psychotic. All right, is that the way you told me?
Yeah.
So what happened is, if he continues on this spiraling, those people are just using him. Fucking what's his name? Milo was fucking starving a year ago. He was so skinny, he hadn't eaten in years. You know, when now he's eating. It's all for the money. And even Nick Fuente, he's probably gonna get a couple $100,000 from him. He quit his whole show because really people gonna vote for you as president. Really, even before he said all this crazy shit, he's gonna win all these states and all that. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
So these people, they're just using him for his money. And I don't know, man. In the rap industry, especially Jay-Z, you know who Jay-Z is, right? Jay-Z,
Yeah.
he
the
knows him
producer.
better. Yeah, he should intervene. He's rich and wealthy. He should get him some help or something because this motherfucker is going to end up dead someplace in a hotel or someplace. Remember the greatest actors, like, what's his name? Robin? What's his name?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. I used to love him. And he hanged himself in a fucking closet. And he was the funniest motherfucker in the world and stuff like that. Oh, that guy Bourdain, that guy with the travel channel with the cooking, that used to be on CNN.
Anthony Bourdain.
I used to love his fucking show. He had a way of talking, he talked the way he talked, and he fucking hanged himself in Paris in a hotel. So Kanye West is not hurting the Jews. The Jews are not hurting. They're not going to be hurt by him or any minorities, because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of racists. They're already racist, so we're not going to convince them. But people like me, I have issue with Israeli policy or the way they treat the Palestinians. But I don't have an issue with Jews as an entity. A matter of fact, in America, I found we have common ground in our politics. The majority are liberal. I'm liberal. I vote for them here. Chuck Schumer, I vote for him. So what I'm saying is that I don't have no issue like that. I have issue with the policy of those who stay silent as the Palestinian genocides continue or the occupation. I will call them out. But I don't have no issue with you as a person or the Jewish community in the United States. I find that, I'm being honest with you, Free. We have a lot in common with me and them because we have the same politics. So you know what I'm saying? We're like,
of course,
Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie Sanders. I think he's a fucking hero. He should have. It's too late that he's 80 years old before he got this traction in the street. I was influenced by Jewish teachers in school and stuff like that. They were very kind to me and things like that. But the whole issue, why are we defending Jews in this time and age? Really, Kanye West, are you fucking idiot? You're gonna wear a mask and go on one of the stupidest platforms in the world and start calling nonsense with Hitler, the biggest criminal in history, world history, who not only killed Jews, he killed the Roma, he killed blacks, he killed people he considered not pure or not white or the pure race. We would not. I don't know how they do it. But the whole idea.
Losers.
Hitler caused the World War II. Almost 50 million people died. So But Kanye West, as a black man, he has no place to. What he's supported don't want him. Will eradicate him. Nazism will have killed him because he was black. Nick Fuentes doesn't want him because he wants the pure white race or the Catholic nation. So he doesn't fit in. So what the fuck you are doing? You are advocating something that hates you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like taking your own poison. That's what Kanye West is. He's drinking his own poison. You know?
Yeah.
There's no place for that shit. And Nick Fuente is the biggest idiot. I used to call him about a year ago. He was still 2 years ago. He was still on Twitter. I'm blocked by him. Then I tweeted. I thought he was Italian, fully Italian. I didn't know he was Mexican. I told him, why don't you take a DNA test, see how much Arab blood you have in you? You understand? Because I hope you hear me. Because of the Arabs, they used to stay in Sicily during the wars. They said 2 centuries. And they get rid of them. Gotta get rid of you for a minute until they come back. So I told him, I told Nick Fontes, why don't you take a blood test and see if you have any Arab blood in you? He fucking blocked me right away. Because the people who follow Nick Fontes are fucking kids, they're idiots, they don't know any better. There's no such thing as purism. I'm going to wait for you and say this shit, but white is not a race. Black is not a race. My color is not a race. Ethnicity is a race. Italian is a race. German is a race. African is a race. Arabs are a race. Color is not a race. Color is only race in Western society. I never heard of it. When I was in Arabia, I didn't know black was a race or white people were a race. I didn't have that issue with that. So when I came here, I had a debate the other night. I said, listen, we don't have that issue. White is not a race. You cannot pick your color as your ethnicity. It doesn't make any sense. Because look at me. I'm probably whiter than Nick Fontes. I'm whiter than him. I'm probably whiter than the majority of white people in the United States. You back?
Sorry, I'm good. I'm good.
So what I would say is that I told you he blocked me because I said, yo, Nick Fontes, why don't you take a DNA test? I bet you're probably 12% more Arab, because Arabs stayed in Sicily for 2 centuries. They're Moors, from Africa, from Morocco. And I started getting traction with his people, and then he blocked me right away. So they're very sensitive, these people who claim to be, we are the white race, we are the strong people, we are not. Shut the fuck up.
Like he kept on saying he was Afro-Latino, but now he's not. Now he had to lie about his race. Well, okay, that would only go to show you're really not proud of your white heritage if you have to, constantly say you're a minority race to deflect criticisms of racism. But then again, you're not like firmly upholding your status as a representative of the white race. He's full of shit. He's full of shit. Remember the argument I had made against Martinez in that video? Because, like he said, well, Spanish people are actually white. So it's, I don't know why they keep on saying my name. Martinez. Well, okay.
Why his name's Martinez?
Like, yeah, Spanish, but well, yeah, Brandon Martinez, the white nationalist.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and his argument against people making fun of his name was, well, Spanish people are actually white, but remember, Spain was colonized by the Moors for hundreds of years until they got out after the Reconquista.
Yeah.
And what's also interesting is that he also excludes the Balkans from the white ethno state, because his argument is like, because Yugoslavia is inconvenient for his narrative, because if you present this group of white people who couldn't live together at all, that absolutely destroys the idea of a white ethno state. So if you say, okay, well, Yugoslavia was not societally cohesive and they were all the same race, Slavic people all descend from one common ancestor, and he says, well, they were actually colonized by the Ottomans, and a few white people are actually of Turkish descent and are Muslim. Okay, but here's the thing. So are Spanish people. So by that logic, the Spanish would have to be excluded from the white ethno state if you're going to exclude the people in the Balkans. But if you're going to include the Spanish in the white ethno state, then you also have to include the Balkans, but the Balkans is societally incohesive. Serbia's gearing up for another war, and the Yugoslav wars were an absolutely brutal conflict because after Tito died, it fucking completely fractured.
Yeah, ethnic cleansing.
Like this lunatic idea of the Jews control everything, and all the European people are gonna be happy in one society. Get the fuck out of here. It's class. It's material conditions. It's none of these distractions, okay?
Yeah.
All right?
I already told, I said it one time. I told somebody that, okay, let's say you do have let's say in the United States, we give you 5 states, right? Okay, give them to these guys. Then you're going to have an issue. You're going to have class. Who's the purest? You're going to have by the DNA. Who's more? Who's 6? Because I hear them talk. It's 16%.
How do you determine who's white?
Yeah, no, I hear them talking. They shot. I listen, a long time ago, they were talking about percentage, 16%. This, it was I swear to God, I seen like years ago, like in Pal Talk, like 10 years ago. And I'm like, okay, then how the fuck are you going to have this state where you're going to have an issue who's real? And then let's say Obama. Obama is half white and half black, right? So what are you going to do with a kid who's mixed race? So because I just said it when he was away, color is not an ethnicity.
Yeah.
Black is not white. I mean, the only time I swear to God, I found out, or I promise you, I don't know how to say it in English. I promise you, when I came to the United States, that's the only time I found out that color is an ethnicity. In my country, in Yemen, you have black people or you have dark-skinned people. My father's dark as hell. I don't have a picture. I'll show it to you. But it's regional. Like if I see somebody who's dark, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, he's black," or "He's not." Oh, he's from that region, like from the south of the country. Because it's more hot over there. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. He's still a Yemeni. He's still an Arab, 100% Arab. I have no issue. Maybe there's some, during marriage, some girls would rather have a lighter husband, whatever. That's okay. That's that cultural shit. But when I came to the United States, I did not see color. When I was in school, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I didn't know what tribe I belonged to. You understand what I'm saying? So I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Then I found out, and I read into it. The first time white was mentioned as an ethnicity was in 1671 after the Bacon Rebellion. You can look at it. It's the where when the rebellion was the Bacon Rebellion was against the elites of Virginia. I think it was Virginia, Jamestown, Virginia. They wanted to kill the Indians. Bacon was his name. His name was something Bacon. He wanted to kill the Indians because he wanted their land. They said no. It started stupid. Then he gathered all the slaves, all the indentured servants, who were whites, but were indentured to everybody, and they declared war on the elites, and they burned down the capital of Jamestown. After that, the white elites, they realized we got to bring these idiots into the fold, like what they do now, let them vote for us, let them do stuff for us, and things of that nature. The first time the word white was considered an ethnicity was around 1671. That's the first time they started using that as a way to, what they're doing right now is to use the
divide
poor
people.
Yeah, because they figure if we leave these poor whites alone, they're gonna do another rebellion on us, and they're gonna align themselves with the blacks, whatever, because they did it already. We might as well bring these poor whites in, let them vote every time like fucking idiots. What they're doing right now, they write them every time to the poll. Once these guys get elected, they stick the middle finger and they go take care of corporate America. And when it's time to vote, they come up with a critical race theory, the LBGT, those gays,
trans,
those this, those that. And these guys go, we gotta vote. We gotta save the country, man.
I reckon they're gonna fucking molest our children and fucking like all this nonsense.
Yeah.
These poor whites, they don't know what's good for them, so they vote for these rich assholes who won't benefit their class interests. I mean, maybe these. Yeah, maybe these. Yeah,
I was in the Crucible, not the other day, though, 2 months ago. I said the same shit with Robert Norman. Everybody goes, oh, what do you say? I said whites vote their color. That's true. They don't vote what else they vote? They're not voting their economic interests because they're still poor as fuck in the South. You have all these states. West Virginia is dying. It's old age. They're not, it's got dying states. Other states are last, and people's like, oh, yesterday I had somebody when I was in the cruise. Oh, you fucking New Yorkers, you're scum there. I'm like, what are you talking about? You hate your own country, man. Anyway, the whole idea is that white people need to fucking start voting their interest. They cannot. They gotta say, do something for me. Your kids are dying like flies from overdose. 200 children die a day, or young people who are white. In rural America, not in blue America, they die like fly, and you motherfuckers will go vote for the same people who are killing you, who take the factories away, who destroy your way of life with their free trade NAFTA and all the other free trade bullshit with China and took all that stuff, and you'll still go there to vote because you know why? Because I don't want to say it, because you're fucking racist. That's not good. Because look what they give them every election cycle. It has to do with color or race or gender or sex. There's no real issues. What issues did the Republican Party have? They didn't have nothing. They were, the Dr. Seuss, was it Mr. Potato Head in the beginning?
Mr. Potato Head, gendered fucking nonsense.
Wilma from Scooby Doo. I had a crush on him. kid who's blowing up from Scooby Doo. You have nothing to offer these people. But I'm gonna do it before I finish. But I'm so glad this time. I think they voted right. They voted all the crazies out. They did not even one crazy was voted in. I think they finally realized that either we're gonna have a country or we're gonna give it to these crazy motherfuckers and lose everything. Nobody wanted to lose that, and I'm proud of what happened. I kind of calmed down a bit. Go ahead, man.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like American voters are moderate for the most part.
Yeah.
And, Fox News didn't really want to be affiliated with all these, election deniers and people whose only platforms was stolen election, deep state. You got to get them on the interest. You got to appeal to material interests. And that's how these people are going to win. That's how progressive Democrats win. I mean, usually if a candidate runs on Medicare for all, and they end up winning in these local elections. So, I mean, it's material. It's class. What were you going to say?
All this fuckery started first with a guy named Rush Limbaugh, who monetized. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's up. Then there was this perfect storm of 1994. For the first time, the Republican Party took over Congress in 60 years. And Fox News was incepted on the same year. So you had the Newt Gingrich and Tom DeLay from Texas, all these crazy motherfuckers, the contract with America, all this, and it was called the scorched earth policy. They created this division that you have to hate your opposition in order to win. And after that, the country just fucking went crazy because Fox or the Murdoch family changed the way news was. News was before this. They used to get up, they would do a segment. After the segment is finished, they will show something. Then they will debate what they just saw. There was no teams. There was no this. There was no that. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know these guys. Somebody's calling me and they'll call me in years. Anyway, I was gonna tell you. This is what happened. Since 1996, it started shit, and it got worse. And they wanted to impeach Clinton for getting a blowjob from whiskey, which I think she's a piece of shit. She'd have swallowed the whole thing instead of throwing shit all on her fucking dress. But that's another story for another day. Anyway, let's get back to our guy. So Kanye West dead, but 6 months, or he's gonna be alive?
I think he's eventually gonna be dead.
Yeah, he's gonna kill himself.
More than 6 months, but yeah. I think he's going down the wrong path. Meeting with people like Trump, Fuentes, and Milo all at the same dinner with
They're all
Ye.
sucking him up, They're all sucking up his money. Everybody's trying to get him before he dropped dead. The whole idea with Kanye is that the more he does crazy shit, the more that people are gonna run away from like the plug. Nobody wants to be associated with him right now. All this crazy shit. Good.
Look at this absolute moron, this idiot, this traitor, Trump. Let's listen in.
Welcome to America First. Got a great show for you tonight.
Kanye West was opening for Nick Fuentes' show, America First. And if the green screen situation is any indication of the quality of that show, not a great show. But it's in the tech issues, it's also the fact that Nick Fuentes is a giant pile of garbage. And he says anti-Semitic, racist, and terrible things. And so perfect match for Kanye West to be there, I guess. Here's what happened. By now, you're probably aware of Kanye's recent anti-Semitic comments. Those remarks did end up costing Kanye West all sorts of business deals. But they also earned him a vile new group of friends, including Nick Fuentes.
Oh, God.
Now, on November 17th, Kanye was spotted leaving dinner with Fuentes. And the following day, Nick Fuentes posted a cartoon of himself and Kanye shaking hands on Telegram. Then on November 20th, Kanye invited X17 Online Video to his studio for a video interview. And Kanye officially announced that he is running for president in 2024. And Milo Yiannopoulos is making a comeback because he will be serving as his campaign manager. And if you look closely at the video, you can spot Nick Fuentes.
He's clinging to relevancy. Milo's clinging desperately to relevancy.
The money is starving.
Yeah.
Now, on November 22nd, Kanye was spotted at the Miami International Airport with Fuentes. The two were traveling to Mar-a-Lago to have dinner with Donald Trump, because of course. And 2 days later, on November 24th, Kanye posted a video on Twitter in which he talked about what happened during that dinner. That was amusing. Let's watch.
Yeah, let me get past the ads here.
Go ahead, no, sorry, I'm not paying attention. I told this guy.
most perturbed about me asking him
Look at
to
this
be my
clip.
vice president. I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact.
This is Milo, if you can believe
Yeah,
it.
look at that
He's got
bitch.
like
Look
that.
at that.
He's got like that,
He's like-
Nazi Charlottesville haircut, all that.
Yeah, but
walked
and
in
that,
with
I will suck your dick, Kanye, for as
Trump
long
was
as you feed me.
really impressed with.
Yeah, he's an ass kisser, professional ass
Yeah,
kisser.
yeah, he's a shit guy.
At least maybe back in 2016, he would cultivate, somewhat of his own media persona. I mean, he was still riding on coattails. Like
Yeah.
Trump was popular at the time, and he really ingratiated that audience. But at least he had like his own platform. He was his own persona.
Yeah.
But now he's just like a vestige of Ye and Trump and Fuentes.
Yeah, because the right accent, when you talk about pedophilia, we said it's okay for kids to because he, as a young kid, he enjoyed being whatever, I don't know, he said something terrible on that one.
Yeah. On the Drunken Peasants podcast.
Yeah.
Great podcast, by the way. I
Yeah,
really
that was
liked what TJ did with that. He said, he believed that children and these older guys could consent, and I'm like, okay, Kanye got mad at Balenciaga for like posting really weird pedophile shit or something like that, and because the right has been saying, oh, groomer, pedophile. Okay, for all the groomer outrage, you're sure do harbor some pretty weird company. This guy thought kids could consent. Fuentes constantly complains about trans people on his show. Kanye thinks the Jews are pedophiles, but they're hanging out with the one. It's all projection. That's what right-wing politics are built off of. Projection. Faulting your political opposition for the very stuff that you do. Let's continue with this.
Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes, unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist.
Oh, God.
Imagine being one of the top artists in the country and then devolving into that. Well, just to give you some more details about the dinner, according to the New York Times, during the dinner, according to a person briefed on what took place, Fuentes, as Kanye likes to call him, described himself as part of Trump's base of supporters. Trump remarked that his advisors urge him to read speeches using a teleprompter and don't like when he ad-libs remarks.
Yeah.
Fuentes said Trump supporters preferred the ad-libs, at which Trump turned to the others, the person said, and declared that he liked Fuentes, adding, quote, he gets me. Now, there was a lot of backlash toward Trump for having this dinner with two well-known
The neocons were mad at him.
Talk about some of that backlash and Trump's response
because they
to
get tons of money from Israel. They don't want to piss off that demographic. So McConnell said there's no room for anti-Semitism within the Republican Party. Translation: we need to keep this AI PAC money. So screw off with the anti-Semites, Ye and Fuentes and whatnot.
It
So
took him a long time.
But Cenk, this, in my opinion, is the least surprising development of all time. I feel like 2024 is going to be, in some ways, a repeat of 2016.
Well, look, Trump's a white nationalist, and everybody keeps getting surprised that he hangs out with white nationalists.
Yeah, exactly.
So remember, during Charlottesville, they chant, "The Jews will not replace us," and he said, "There's very fine people on both sides." So we're surprised that he's meeting with like neo-Nazis. He said that there were very good people on that side.
His platform in 2016 was built on racism. The idea the Mexicans, they're crossing the border. Some of them, I assume, are fine people, and all this racist dog whistling nonsense. Okay.
Not only that,
All right.
This is from the
Now,
Trump.
I was gonna say,
people who love the.
a lot of people got their spot during the Trump presidency, like Candace Owens, all these stuff. They didn't exist. You understand?
Yeah.
They didn't exist. So as soon as they changed the wheel, everybody was money to be made. We were late to the game. You understand? I was late to the game.
Yeah, and that coincided with this.
Yeah.
2016 Gamergate. This anti-SJW stuff being right populist was really in style at the time.
Confederate generals that whipped and murdered and lynched black people. He said they were really good people on that side, celebrating those wonderful guys. No difference to me, none. Okay, he celebrates vile racists and bigots, both from the past and today. Okay, so now when it comes to Nick Fuentes, so you understand why people are flipping out about him as opposed to the many other hateful people that Trump have met with. He has said that all the Jews should be thrown out of the country, He denies the Holocaust. By the way, he also says awful things about black people, of course. Says the military should occupy black cities, etc. But Kanye, being
And he's hanging out with a black guy. You know, it's
self-hater clown that he is, he's like, oh, you think black people are inferior? Oh, great, wonderful. I got this great guy, Nick Fuentes, and I'm going to bring him to the other clown that I know, and it's a 3-ring circus. And by the way, guys, think about it.
It's a circus act.
So maybe some of you think, well, look, man, I don't know who a friend brought to dinner the other day. Yeah, but that's because you're a rando, right? He's the former president of the United States. Shouldn't there be some process by which people are vetted? Remember, he had top secret and might still have some top secret documents at Mar-a-Lago. Neo-Nazis are walking in like la 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 la, no big deal, walking around the place, no security, nobody stopping anybody, and they just go sit down and have dinner with Trump. I know he's escorted by Kanye, but also Kanye is an obvious, admitted anti-Semite.
Yeah. So let me actually.
Adolf Hitler, I call him Adolf Hitler from now on, you know, was praising Hitler on Alex Jones's show. You got the most, brazen anti-Semitic, pretty much neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
And one of the poster boys for, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. And it's this 3-wing clown show. Oh my God. It's insane. Omar, we're down the most glitched timeline. Apparently, in the algorithm of reality, there were a few bugs, and it just glitched out, and now we've got the most dystopian nonsense, okay?
Get to Trump's response to the critics. And one of those critics, by the way, happens to be his vice president, Mike Pence. We'll get to that in a moment.
And one of his critics is Ben Shapiro, who I'm going to magically agree with for the first time ever.
So first, here's what Trump posted on Truth Social. He's been melting down ever since.
Well, my Israeli donors need to keep the money flowing towards my bank account, so I'll denounce this for now.
Backlash began. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, was asking me for advice concerning some of his difficulties, in particular having to do with his business. I mean, that's one of the biggest mistakes Kanye West could make. We also discussed, to a lesser extent, politics, where I told him he should definitely not run for president.
Oh yeah,
and then he quotes himself, any voters you may have should vote for Trump. Anyway, we got along great. He expressed no anti-Semitism.
Oh, on that night. Okay, well, thank you.
And
I think he used dog whistles like globalist, internationalist, Soros, the Frankfurt School, Klaus Schwab, all that,
appreciated all of the nice things he said about me on Tucker Carlson. Why wouldn't I agree to meet? Also, I didn't know Nick Fuentes. I mean, I just knew.
I believe that. I believe that.
That Kanye West had said a ton of terrible anti-Semitic things publicly and regularly. And I agreed to have dinner with him, but I didn't agree to have dinner with Nick Fuentes, allegedly. By the way, you're a former president. Don't you have Secret Service?
Look at this.
And wouldn't Secret Service, wouldn't you be informed to some extent on who Nick Fuentes really is? You're just willy-nilly meeting with randos at Mar-a-Lago. Really? Really?
So a couple of things about that.
Same place he keeps the classified documents.
Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar have done events at his white supremacist conferences, and that was in the news a lot, right? Number two, Kanye is a mentally unwell person. When he brings a guy you don't know to dinner with the former president, not just Trump, but Secret Service, to Anna's point, should be like, whoa, 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 we don't know this guy at all. And he's being escorted by a well-known lunatic, right? But the problem is, everybody in the house is a lunatic. And so they're having a conversation inside an asylum. So as they're bouncing off the white walls, right? They're
straight jackets.
Trump assures us that at that dinner, Kanye was not at all anti-Semitic.
Thank God. I mean, that makes it all better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you more.
Just
but hold on, let me just say one quick thing
no
about
anti-Semitism
so when
whatsoever.
Trump says the last part of that comment, but he said nice things about me, about Tucker Carlson. Why would I want?
That's all that matters.
Think about it, guys. He's saying, oh, you could wish DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people. You could praise Hitler several times and say you look up to him. But as long as you say nice things about Trump, Trump likes you. Because Trump doesn't care about anyone but himself.
He's full of shit. He'll stab you in the back when it's convenient for him.
You can be the most racist, anti-Semitic, bigoted piece of crap in the world, and as long as you like him, he's good with you. And to be fair,
all you got to do is lick his boots, say the election was stolen, and that's you set on the Trump train, man.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un, the worst dictator in the world, and he said he wrote me a nice letter. So I like that.
We fell in love.
Trump said also on Truth Social, quote, so I help a seriously troubled man, meaning Kanye West, who just happens to be black, Kanye West, who has been decimated in his business and virtually everything else, and who has always been good to me. That's always the heart of what he thinks about people, right? Are they good to me? By allowing his request for a meeting at Mar-a-Lago alone so that I can give him very much needed advice. He shows up with 3 people, 2 of which I didn't know, the other a political person who I haven't seen in years. I told him, don't run for office, a total waste of time, can't win. Fake news went crazy. Okay, so let's show you why.
Any news besides, his tweets on Truth Social are just fake news. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
People would, I don't
think
know,
he's irrelevant
not be
now.
so happy with Trump meeting with.
Yeah, the voters don't want him. Republicans are probably going to pick DeSantis.
They're not going to pick him. He's gone. That's it. I don't know why it took him so long to realize he's a piece of shit. You could tell, but the way he talks, the guy, he's empty jacket. But he's gone. That's it.
Yeah.
Kanye West and Nick Fuentes. Let's take a look at this compilation video. This is just a little taste of who Nick Fuentes really is.
Well, let's get past the ad here. Watch this. This is who Fuentes is. He's such a scumbag.
They should get rid of Congress altogether after that happens. Here's the pathway. We have one more election where white people can make the decision. But white people got to make the right decision, and then Trump's got to get in there and never leave. I don't believe in democracy. I do not believe in universal suffrage. I don't support women's rights. I don't support LGBT.
And they'll constantly complain about, voter suppression, voter suppression. Well, okay, if you like dictatorship, then wouldn't you all be for voter suppression? Like stolen election? You like that. You like dictatorships, don't you? But he's full of shit because he doesn't believe in anything. So he'll contradict himself constantly, and his audience of bootlickers will just keep on showing up to his streams on Cozy TV.
But how do you think a person shaped like that? Why? I mean, what do you think drove him to think like that in such a young age? So different. You know what I'm saying? It's so different. I mean,
I don't.
I have issues with other people or entities, but not like that. Extreme. I don't believe in women vote. He doesn't believe anything. He wants to bring us back to the fucking dark ages. And he's fucking 24 years old. I mean, how does a person that age get to that idea that democracy is no good?
I mean, he's got to be, either talking shit or grifting or something. I don't know how anybody could, turn out like this, man.
T rights. I believe in race and gender essentialism. I'm Catholic. I'm a Catholic reactionary.
And catboy essentialism.
I believe that organized Jewry is extremely influential in the United States. We need to go back to burning women alive more. The Jews had better start being nice to people like us.
Mr. Let's create more white babies thinks having sex with women is gay and they should be burned more. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mr. Heterosexual. Also dates catboys, but we don't talk about that.
You saw what the fucking asshole tweeted, Elon Musk? What really happened with the Hunter Biden story suppression by Twitter will be published on Twitter at 5 p.m. Eastern. He's been an asshole like Trump now. I think he's fucking narcissistic.
Like, federal agents went through that fucking laptop.
We already know the guy was a crackhead. He was fucking everything. He was a drug addict. The smart thing is about the Biden, what they did, he wrote a book and he told everything already. So there's nothing else to hide. So there could be a surprise.
They don't have anything.
Yeah, that's how you disarm your enemy. You just tell them everything. Tell them how you're sick or you fuck up and shit. That's what he's gonna do. I already said it. Yeah, I was a cracker. Yeah, I was fighting with prostitutes over money. Yes, I was having sex and videotaping each other. Yes, I took money. But the whole idea, they all take money. Fucking Jared Kushner got $1.1 billion for his building in 66 Fifth Avenue, and got another $2 billion from the Saudis after the presidency. What do you think? Really? Because of his genius, he's a good investor? No, that's a fucking bribe, man.
No.
But I don't want to deal with whataboutism. Okay, bring everybody in, man. I don't, bring everybody in. It's corrupt. Our system is corrupt as fuck. There's money to be made. Every single congressman comes poor and comes out with a millionaire. Oh, in the millions they will after they leave Congress. Yeah. Everybody. I heard that Lauren Boebert, that fucking idiot, she's worth like $40 million. How?
Campaign finance.
She's hanging around in bowling alleys with her husband and scaring little kids away. How the fuck did she do that?
Yeah. Talk about, and she constantly complains about groomer. Her husband is a sex offender. I mean, he's caught in public molesting these, minors, these children, these teenage girls.
But you know, she got humbled by the. She only won about 300 votes. I don't know, yo. We don't want this fucker you doing every day in Washington. You're either gonna do your job or shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like a lot of Arizonans, they don't like her. Well, Colorado, right? Yeah.
What comes out of this is going to be a lot uglier and a lot worse for them than anything that's being said on this show or has been said on this show. These left-wing people,
Yes, because a prominence of right wingers is very ugly. Yes.
Yeah.
in their heart of hearts, they know they're wrong because, like, they know that black people are violent.
No,
I will say,
right.
hey, black people are violent, and then they'll go, I bet you wouldn't say that in front of a black person. Why? Because they're
Who said that? Who the fuck says that?
It's out of themselves.
I'm saying now, statistically, yes, black people do commit a disproportionate amount of crime, but that's because they are redlined, relegated to these inner cities in which there are almost very weak social safety nets, almost no employment opportunities, and gangs constantly enticing you to join them, to join their lucrative, illegal operations. So, I mean, maybe if you were in their city, you would get that mindset too and say, okay, hold on, actually saying 1350 and all these racist dog whistles are actually really out of context statements that deserve more nuance. But he won't say that because he's not a politically honest actor, okay?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to think he's just, a grifter saying what people want to hear. Like Tim Pool.
Yeah.
He doesn't care, how bad his record is, how wrongly he predicts anything. He's just, stroking their egos.
the thug that'll hit me. Hitler was a German statesman.
Yes, he
Not
did.
even
Before the
joking
shit, he
this much.
predicted on Twitter that he will win 2024.
Oh, my fucking God.
What an idiot. God,
No, this isn't wishful thinking on my part, because I'd like a better candidate, but I think Biden's going to win 2024.
Yeah.
He's got good chances.
I would prefer Taliban rule in America to this.
Non-white rule? The religion for the Pashtuns, the Afghans? Well, Mr. White ethno state. No, because at least this country is predominantly white. But you want a white ethno state, but you'd rather, be under Taliban rule? What the fuck sense does that make? You believe Islam to be false. You believe Catholicism to be true. And, there are a greater proportion of Catholics to Muslims in this country. So isn't it preferable for you? No, he's contradicting himself because, folks, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because at least if black people were fighting at the airport, they would get their hands cut off.
Gee, I wonder
And this guy claims he hates the TSA. Oh, I'm blacklisted by them.
why people would be upset that Trump would take a dinner meeting with someone like Nick Fuentes. And I
They're dumbfounded.
don't believe for a second that Trump didn't know who Nick Fuentes was. I don't believe for a second that he didn't expect Nick Fuentes to be there. I just don't buy it. I don't believe it. This is what he does all the time. It's always the BS plausible deniability line.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I tweeted
deny.
over the weekend when I first saw that was like, Bernie Sanders doesn't accidentally wind up at a dinner with white supremacists.
Right.
You know why? Because he doesn't know any white supremacists. He doesn't know any bigots. He doesn't know the anti-Semites. That's not to say that he doesn't know a single person and is unaware of it, right? But it's that Trump hangs out with people like that all the time. Kanye West is the best known anti-Semite in the country at this point. It's not like it was like a surprise to him. Would an anti-Semite bring another anti-Semite to dinner? Very, very, very likely. Okay, so that's why he's like, oh, golly gee, did the guy who hates Jews bring someone else who hates Jews? Oh God, I couldn't have seen that coming. I mean, come on.
Didn't know Nick Fuentes. No idea who he was.
Absurd. And if you notice, they keep referring to Kanye running for president. Who cares? I mean, the guy's going to get 3 votes like he did last time. He's a literal lunatic. Okay. But for them, since they live in an asylum, that's a perfectly rational conversation. And Kanye asked Trump to be his VP. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Not completely detached from reality.
Oh, he
and then
didn't like
Trump,
that.
you could tell in his 2 comments, caught feelings over that. And he's like, well, I was giving him business advice. Dude, you had 6 bankruptcies. Everything is in an alternate reality.
I like the youngsters.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty progressive.
I
have, a few issues with people like they platform like that fucking lunatic Nosbold door, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
But sometimes they're a little rehearsed a little bit, right? You notice that?
Yeah.
Because I watch it, sometimes it's like they rehearse. Like yesterday, he was saying something about what all of a sudden she said that it's not like when you wrote a paper in college against the Armenian genocide, saying, what the fuck, why would you throw that shit in the conversation? I think she caught it by surprise. What the fuck? You understand?
Yeah.
He's a great businessman. You've lost all $400 million twice 2 different times he lost $400 million. You're the worst businessman in America. But in his world, he's like, and I wanted to tell Kanye. Now, of course, he shouldn't run for office because, I'm running for office and he's going to take voters away. Guys, you're having a nonsense conversation. The real issue is you're all deeply hateful pricks. And unfortunately, one of you is in charge of one of the major parties in America, still to this day.
Yeah.
And lastly, the Republican voters get by far the majority of the blame. Guys, you don't know Trump?
They know.
You know.
They know.
Trump himself said 1,000 anti-Semitic comments.
Like I told you, it took him that long to fucking know what Trump is. I mean, I knew the way he talked. And, well, he got good policies. Okay, what did he do for you? Well, I mean,
like cut taxes for the rich.
Oh, did you benefit from that tax? You don't make no fucking money, you poor fuck. You didn't benefit anything out of that 4 years. Well, we're gonna replace Obama's healthcare. Right, then you're gonna do without healthcare, idiot. All right, let's go. Some states don't even have it yet. The governors want to expand their Medicaid.
Because of these Republican state legislatures, they're so fucking evil,
asshole, man. Like Minnesota, what do you call it? Mississippi, they're fucking poor as fuck. They need that health care, and they deprive it while everybody's getting it. Why would you let New Yorkers get the benefit out of the federal government while you deny your own state that? Do you think they get to keep that money, or they just give it back to the federal government?
Yeah, they're just gonna, yeah.
It goes back, right?
Yeah, and these people constantly, their talking point is, well, I reckon he's gonna repeal Obamacare. Yeah. Oh, great, fantastic. So you're for public option or nationalization? I think it should be privatized. Fuck, here we go again. God damn it.
You saw the Democrats did today, right? They voted South Carolina as their first state for the primaries.
Oh, really? South Carolina's going to be the first?
Yeah, because it was lily white in the beginning. They were starting in Iowa. If you were Hispanic or black, you had no chance to get any traction. And once you win the first state, you start to get the donations and the care, everything on you.
Oh, yeah.
And New Hampshire was still pure white. I mean, you need a state that is, especially for the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a multiracial entity. I mean, we're of all walks of life. So you need a state that is reflective of the Democratic Party and its members. So you get some traction. Like if you're black or Hispanic, you get the vote. Because once you win the first primary, people start talking about you, and donation starts coming in, and all of a sudden you become prominent. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in Iowa, they had no chance in fucking hell to win these states. I mean, if your name's Gonzalez, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this fucking was dumb the way they did with the straws, and they fucked it up. That was dumb as fuck when I was watching it last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hide behind the fact, his son-in-law is Jewish. Oh, yeah, some of his top advisors are Jewish. No, he's constantly saying that they support Israel instead of America, that they like to negotiate and renegotiate deals, the anti-Semitic tropes nonstop. And for the Republican voters, though, as they see that monster at Mar-a-Lago, they don't think it's the bug. They think it's the feature that he hates all those groups. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it.
So that's that. You usually cap it off at an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to go? You had a good time?
Yeah, I had a fantastic conversation. I felt this was really productive. We got a lot done.
I'm happy. All right, my brother. Take care, okay?
Yeah, take care.
All right, this is it. I'll see you next week, next Friday. I'll see you free.
Yeah, see you.